Hi. So let's talk about how domestic abuse starts. Um, in a narcissistic relationship or with a narcissist in your life, or generally, how does domestic abuse start? Good question, you may ask. Um, I experienced different kinds of domestic abuse at different stages of my life, but the latest one is when I was in a love relationship with the father of my two children. Um, it took me so long to understand, to have clarity, to pinpoint what was going on. That what I was experiencing wasn't normal or wasn't how I intended my relationship to look like. So it's a bit tricky to talk about it, but it's important because you need to know. And I hope by talking about this, it's going to help you not take as long a time like it did for me because it took me close to 18 years to understand what my problem was in my relationship. Although I knew that we didn't get along, we didn't probably see eye to eye, and relationships were strained on both sides of families, like my the side of my family and his side. Why? I didn't know. Uh, Not necessarily that I didn't know, but I just knew that there was something wrong. But what was causing that? What was the driving force behind that? I didn't realize until I learned about narcissism on here. So I feel obligated to give back to help you know what domestic abuse looks like and how it starts. So, looking back from my own experience, because I can only speak from my experience, I'm not a trained psychologist or psychotherapist, or I don't. I did not do any research into. I didn't conduct like clinical studies. It's my own experience that I'm imparting to you. So the very beginning stages of domestic abuse is emotional. They will come hard at you emotionally. They will say things about maybe your physical appearance, your physical body parts, right? Uh, for some of us, we've got a larger bust, and it's always been like probably an insecurity for me because I was always slim built. So larger bust and slim build didn't really. I stuck out like a sore thumb. But anyway, so if it's an insecurity and then somebody uses that against you, it sort of like knocks you back. Okay, that's one. But remember, a narcissist does use love bombing to to sort of like understand where you stand, how they can attack you. Because remember, their goal is to control, to subdue you, is to dominate, is to make sure you don't have a life. You are not thriving. You are not. You will only be breathing. You are like you will just be in survival mode. So anyway, going back to how abuse starts, it starts up emotionally, right? One is emotional, psychological. Your mental health is affected, and without a good mental health, life becomes hard to deal with. Life becomes hard to manage. But you are strong. You are strong, and I know uh, where the strength comes from. The human spirit is unbreakable. We might encounter difficult situations. You might be in the darkest of darkest places, but you are not meant to, your life wasn't meant to end like that. So you'll find that you will come through because you're strong. Yeah, so after the emotional abuse has gone on, the behavior towards you, the way they speak towards you, uh, the way they speak even when there's people around you, and then you are made to feel that whatever is wrong in the relationship is all your fault. Um, and just by constantly trying to justify, trying to explain yourself, trying to make the relationship work, that is a good sign that domestic abuse is in motion in your life. If you're the only one who feels you have to initiate uh, for anything to happen, if you're the only one who has to, well, actually, they can actually tell you that you need to make an effort. You need to make sure this thing is working because it's if it wasn't for you, things would be fine. And then yeah, so that's like an attack on your character, right? So if the emotional abuse doesn't seem to be working as much because you're probably like talking back, this is your master, by the way. You shouldn't say a word. You should just be saying yes, master. So if you start talking back, um, they don't like that because then you're threatening their authority over you. Um, so that's when violence steps in. They they will tell you that they're gonna attack you. You feel like you're not safe, and if that happens, protect yourself. 911 if you're in America. 9999 is there for you. It's unfortunate that if you call 999 right now, it goes through an automated machine. And honestly, if your life is in danger, you've got an abuser who's trying to harm you. I mean, if you're able to run to the street, just open the door and go. You can make your call out there. If you've got a car, just get into your car and drive off. So you don't have much time to decide whether I could just wait on the phone because they will take the phone away from you, so you're unable to make a call. So yeah, I experienced that. I mean, it was horrendous an experience to go through, but like I said, you're not meant. Your life isn't meant to end there, so you'll survive that. But be careful. Very important. Careful. Yeah. So domestic abuse starts. You probably won't know that it's starting or it started, but then it's later down the line that you start looking back and then realize, oh, that didn't make me feel good. Oh, I can't even talk. We can't talk about what's happened before. So everything's like brushed under the carpet. Everything's swept under the carpet, never to be revisited, never to be touched. So you will be left with lots of unanswered questions, and yeah, that's basically how domestic abuse start. And it's normally it manifests in people with narcissistic personality disorder. And yeah, uh, I've meant to talk about this, but it's a bit very, very hard for me because had I realized that what I was in the first year, second year was domestic abuse, I wouldn't have felt empathy for them. I wouldn't have stayed for as long as I stayed. But it was, I think, everything happens for a reason. Now I can talk to you, I can share with you my own experience, I can help you avoid or give you strength. Because when you're in that kind of a situation, you just need somebody that understands what you're going through, and that gives you just glimmer of hope that there's always light at the end of the tunnel. So with that said, my next video is going to be about how to survive domestic abuse. I survived it, and I can share with you what I did, and other thoughts about how to survive, because you've been survival mode anyway. So before you've come to your own decision about what you want to do with your life, given what you now know, you just need to find ways to survive. So that'll be my next video. I love you. Thank you. Bye.